Welcome back, everyone. Western Sharpies RC. Thanks for joining me, and welcome to this video here. I've got my second camper finally done, and I thought I'd do a little video here, show you how it turned out. Very similar to the first one I made, but there are some differences. Mainly the pinstripe taping, the colors, but the shape is the same design. It's the same print. I have since flipped the AC units around. They were facing the wrong way. So those are all done. This one here is a Winnebago. This one here is a Vanguard. The only thing I kind of regret doing on this one is using dark green fabric on the inside, because I put some interior lights in there so that when it's flipped on, you can see a little bit of a glow, but because the fabric's so dark, it doesn't really shine through like it does on this orange one. Easier to see when it's a little darker out, but other than that, the only thing I need to do to this is add a little vent like I did on the orange one there. Right here, I just can't seem to find anything that I like. I was gonna use that, but I'm not really happy with this piece. So, but other than that, just to kind of look at them side by side, you can see what this one looks like. There are some differences between them, like I was saying. Here you can see the back sides. This one's got a different door handle. And this one's got a few more little decals. I do want to get some run footage afterwards, and I'll include that after this little tour of the new camper. I got the F150 ready to go. The previous run footage with that camper, I had the Blazer body on this chassis. It's the same chassis, it's just now I got the F150 body, and I've decided to keep this body looking clean and pretty, so I'm not gonna beat the heck out of this one like I did the Blazer body, but I did add some little belly bars that bolt directly into the chassis. So if you need something like this for your build, I mean, send me a message on my Facebook page and I can make these up for you. They work quite well. And I'll get the camper in this one here in a little bit. I did have to add a few little pieces of some silicone mat just to raise the front end up a little bit so it's a little more level. But this truck is a little more appropriate, I think, for a camper. I think back in the day you'd see a lot more see if I can just move these over a little bit. You'd see these campers in these old Fords a lot more often than you would in a Blazer. But this truck's got the steel bumper and the RC four-wheel drive winch. A few little add-ons afterwards. I got some emblems on here. I added a little antenna. I painted the mirrors chrome. I went ahead and painted this grille silver as well. I think that looks a little nicer. And then I added these little resin bed cleats to the bed. The only one gripe I have about this truck is this tape that Traxxas put on there doesn't really stick that well on there, so you gotta press it in with your finger to get it to stick down. You can see it just wants to come off. I'm not sure if that bothers anybody else, but so let's put this thing aside. This is turning into a little bit of a longer video, but this was a long build. I've had some people ask if I would make these for sale, and I mean, I gladly would. It's just that I don't think anybody really wants to spend the money that goes into making one of these, because they are a lengthy build. But I did print some panels for a few people, and I don't know, I haven't heard from them, so I'm guessing their builds haven't gone that well, because it is a complicated build. It isn't just 3D printed. There's a lot of things on here that are not 3D printed that you'd have to fabricate yourself, like the roof. These angle pieces are evergreen styrene pieces, and of course all the lights and these jacks as well. They're aluminum tubes. These slide up and down. On this camper here, I designed it so that these have a couple holes in them. You can stick a couple pins in there and then set it up in the air. But I didn't do that on this one here. So they're both the same in the sense that they have these holes down here. I mean, the wiring isn't really anything special. It's kind of, as you can see, it's a little barbaric. But it all gets hidden inside the camper anyway. So I'll hook a battery onto this just to show you the way it lights up. I got a little toggle switch on here that separately powers that little floodlight on the back there. Yeah, so I just plug my battery in there and then I just tuck it all up into the hole here, and it's all hidden away, and then it can lay flat in the bed of the truck. So I'll get a battery in there and then I'll show you what this thing looks like lit up. All right, so this is what I use. Just these little Amazon lithium-ion batteries. They're more than enough to power these lights. So here's the little toggle switch. If you're cruising down the road, you don't want to have the floodlight on. And then it just tucks up in here. I'll do this off camera because it's, well, maybe I can just do it quickly. There we go. Oh, it just tucks up in there. I'll get that in the Ford. We'll strap it down, have a little look, and then take this thing outside. All right, there it is. And you can kind of see the way it sits. Actually not too bad considering how heavy the camper is. I mean, in real life, these things are pretty heavy, and this would be like a 12-foot camper to scale. But this chassis holds it quite well, and you can see I haven't even cranked those shocks yet. I could stiffen them up and it wouldn't sag as much, but I haven't done that yet, and it still holds it pretty good. So I've had the orange one in the Blazer, and when it's flat, for the most part, or a little uneven, it handles it well, but it's not something I want to really crawl with, because it wouldn't take much to roll this thing, but it does hold it well. So I've got my, similar to the Blazer body. The only thing I did different with these is I didn't drill a little hole into the bumper like I did on the Blazer, so I could attach these little chain binders. So what I've done was, and these are real neat, they're from Garden Trucking. They're 14 scale chain binders, but they work real good for this. I can't remember which side's which. Two of them got some chain. Oh, one came out. I gotta crimp that a little better. But I think the ones with the chains go on the rear, and I just hooked them onto the body, which you'd never do in real life, because it would just crunch the heck out of the body, but I think I'm safe here. So these front ones have a little chain on them. I'll just use these ones for that. And then you can just twist these and get them relatively tight. So I'll just do that off camera, and then we'll have a last look. All right, I'll load it up. And I actually cranked the shocks a little more, and you can see it's a little more level now. I got the chains on there as well, and I mean, they're on there pretty good. They're not super tight, but just enough to keep it from flying off the truck. See what I was talking about, just hooked onto the body like that. That'll do. Oops, wrong way. I got the 1.9s on here as well, if you haven't noticed, just because, I mean, I think this, even without the camper, they look a lot nicer than those 2.2s. These are off the Bronco, the TRX4 Bronco. And I think just with the camper in there as well, it handles a little better than the 2.2s. So anyway, this guy's ready to go camping. Let's take her outside for a little rip.